Welcome back guys, and today we are here with a new video and actually a new deck. I know I said I was done brewing in my last video, but got a couple comments over the last couple of days from various sources of people saying how was Thopters, what cards would you put in Thopters this season, all that good stuff. So I thought, hey, I've got one last brewing is. Here is my Thopter deck, and I've always loved Thopters, mostly because it gives me an excuse to run one card, but we'll get onto that when we cross that bridge. But generally, the Thopter deck is not too much different from my Kaladesh version, if you've seen that. The only real changes I have added in are Aether Harvester makes the cut. I do like this card in Thopters. I really do appreciate this card. It's a big flyer. It's a big Thopter basically. That's what it is. Only crew 1 means any Thopter can crew it, and it's just great against aggro. You know, it's great. It's just a great card. Nothing really else to say. It's basically like. It's basically a balanced Smuggler's Copter in a way. Like, Smuggler's Copter is obviously a bit busted, but at least Aether Harvester's kind of remotely fair. But apart from that, the other additions from Aether Revolt include these 5 cards here. We have 3 Maverick Thopterists, which I do like in this deck. I'm terrible with it though. I'm never quite sure when I should be attacking with my Thopters or should be getting this guy out for cheaper and all that stuff. But he's basically Will Rogues / Pian Kieran Nala's numbers 5 to 8, and that's never a bad place to be in this deck. You can get him out very cheap if like it's late game or something, but I mean it's basically 4 mana. I'd say is what's the average you're going to be casting him for, and then yeah, it's always, like I said, it's a good card in this deck though, so I'm happy enough with it. And we won 2 Brawl's Expertise. It's a great tempo play to bounce some of your opponent's creatures, and then you can slam in like a Pian Keelan, a lot, Thopter, Spy Network, Flame Shredder Conjuring. One of them is not like the other, but yeah, that's generally how the deck's going to work out. The spicy card, of course, if you haven't figured it out, is that this is the only deck I can justify when running my one of Flame Shredder Conjuring. It's foil. It's foil for a reason. It's the flagship of this deck. This deck wouldn't function without it, and if anyone ever asks what the 61st card is, let's just say it may just be on the screen right now, but we would never say that out loud. But overall, I mean, I do like Thopters. They do tend to go wide, and it got the 2-drop it needed to make the deck a lot more scary in Reckless Fireweaver. Cannot overstate how much I like that card in this deck. It's a 2 mana 1/3, and it's great. It's fantastic. This deck needed 2-drops. It's a 2-drop. It functions with artifacts. It's just perfect in this deck. Like if you go like Reckless Fireweaver into Thopter Engineer into Pian Kieran or something like that, you just hit them for like 5 damage, and that's assuming you're not even attacking. But yeah, I do like Thopters. It's not like the most broken deck in the world. It's definitely not going to be writing any like postcodes about how this deck is going to break them out or anything. But it is a nice solid deck, and you can definitely compete on the ladder with it, as I hope to show today. As I lean forward into tactical position, this hand is a keep, but it's not a good one. But it's a keep. It is a keep, but it is not a good one. We have a Harness Lightning if they play any creatures. We have a Chief of the Foundry, and then we have a Thopter Spy Network. So it should be doing okay. And Kythian is 95% going to die this next turn, unless something really spectacular happens. I'm talking a Reckless Fireweaver off the top. Never lucky. We won't do it now though, just in case he plays like a aura on it, which is not the best thing to put on a Kythian, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. We'll take 2 damage, we're not that much under duress here, and if you play something like a Consul Lieutenant, we'll probably have to kill that instead. Handwear Captain, I'd honestly rather kill Kythian over Handwear Captain, I think. But I still think it was right to wait there, and now, I mean, we're not taking too much pressure. We have a... That's a good draw. That's a really good draw. We'll hide the double blue. And, I mean, the Chief of the Foundry holds back the Handwear Captain if he has nothing. And, we have a pretty good draw. We have Brawl's Expertise into Whirl Rogue or Thopter Spy Network. Haven't decided yet. And, his board doesn't have any in the battlefield effects, really. Yes, that thing will tap me down for this turn, but I'm not too worried about that overall. Wow, that's rude. Tap it down and then tap it down and exile it. Well, it gives me a clue, which is actually quite funny with Thopter Spy Network, but I think the next play is Whirl Rogue over a Thopter Spy Network. And then we can barrels in the Thopter Spy Network if things go south. Yeah, he gives us a clue, which is quite funny with the network. But now he's in a bit of a bind. He's used the Declaration Stone, which is a very good card in this matchup, and he used it for a 1-for-1. Not the worst use in the world, but I mean, when I can have like 8 Thopters in the field, he'd be really wishing he had that one back. He's attacking. Are we blocking? I'll offer the trade, I think. And then, I mean, you could have a Maker Stand, which is kind of what I want to play around. If he uses a Maker Stand just to kill a Thopter, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then, like, if I block with the Wall Rogue there, then he has a Maker Stand. That's actually a good use there. But now we can just stop the Spy Network, and then we can now attack with the. I'm gonna attack with both here. The thing is only 2, and if he I don't think he can kill me from 14. And we have a Brawl's Expertise, and then hopefully we stop drawing lands. We've seen quite a few right now. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're done drawing lands, but we do have the clue to sack, and we have the Brawl's Expertise. Not too worried. We can now bounce this field, and then keep drawing extra cards a turn. We're gonna win this game if it goes long, because we're drawing an extra card a turn. It's that simple, and we're playing better cards than Mono White will ever play. So he does have something in hand. I'm still putting him on Maker Stand. Well, there's the second Declaration Stone. Don't get a clue for this one, but I mean it's, and I don't get to draw a card this turn, I guess, but I'll survive. I'm gonna sacrifice this clue. It might be risky because he can like cut me off artifacts, but my hand is pretty dead right now. I don't want to brawls this turn, and now it's not dead anymore, so yay. So now we have a decent defense. He's already used both Declaration Stones, so we don't have to worry about both our Thopters getting exiled here. I'll hit him for 2, and then we have the brawls next turn to hopefully just end this charade. I would not be attacking with this Whirl Rogue if I didn't feel comfortable. Let's put it that way. But at 12 life against Mono White, there's really not too much to fear. Gideon, Avacyn are his best players, and they're not going to kill me on the spot. What else could he have? I mean, I could jinx it. He could play some like Sky Sovereign, which would be generally terrifying, but I will offer the trade here. I think this is good for me if he uses a pump spell. I've got to get out of his hand eventually. That's an Anointer of Champions. I am a fucking idiot. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot this card. What I did, I just thought it was a 1/1. But all is not lost. All is not lost. Misplays are fun. That's what they are. I was just learning a lesson there. I was just teaching you all a lesson. Read the cards. And that's about the best draw deck card. Yeah, this game's over. This game is over. We get to go brawls, brawls, brawls. And now we flash in a free PN Killer now. Thank you very much. And now we will attack our opponent for 4. We'll draw a card. We'll be making more Thopters. Our opponent's got nothing on the board. Pretty much dead next turn to the PN Kieran. Things would have to go spectacularly wrong here. And things would have to go, yeah, I mean there would really have to be a surprising turn of events. I mean pretty much our entire deck is like fuel right now as well. We have 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. So it's like we're going to be drawing more spells, and he does get to redeploy his whole hand here, but we have the PN Kieran Alar to clear out that double striker, which is the only card I'm scared of on this board. And then you know, we've still got a draw for the turn. This is not going to go well for our opponent. Mono White did not stand a chance in this particular draw. Yeah, that thought will be a noble sacrifice to take out the blocker here. I'll sacrifice you. This like I said, that's the only card I'm terrified of, and now I'll just attack all out. And he has to jump, well he has to trade or do some blocks here, which I'm fine with, and then we've still got a massive board, yeah. Maybe I could have killed him if I'd sacrificed some Thopters. In fact, I think I could have, but you know, when you're ahead, you tend to play worse. But like I said, he's used both his Declarations and Stone. Unless he's randomly running a Planar Outburst, then we can't lose this game. Like what would he double strike? I can't think of anything. There's really nothing he could be playing, and now he's just dead on the backswing. Despite our quite quite significant flood here. We did manage to fight through this. I should have crewed with the other Thopter, but it's not going to matter. Like I said, well, Skywell is shot. He's still dead though, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he's not dead because I crewed with the wrong creature. But he does have to double block. And yeah, I mean, I misplayed this game. I misplayed the end game. I'm not even gonna lie, but you know, when you can't lose a game, it's acceptable to misplay. You know, apparently that's what I've heard. We get to draw a card. Maybe we draw something like a Saheeli that would have killed him. Never lucky. Never lucky. Like, I could even just Whirl Road and probably killed him. There's so many different ways I could have killed him here, but yeah, we're just torturing our opponent by playing badly. If he has an out in his deck, he's now frustrated he didn't draw it. So like, we've tilted him for his next match. You've got to think ahead, think long term. We could rematch with him. We want him to be upset. Who are we playing? Just in case I don't know them. Okay, just if we knew them, we wouldn't want them to. Yeah, yeah. Well, Reckless Fireweaver. Can we kill him? No, we can't with that. So, there's a white fog, isn't there? No, I don't think that's for everything. But we won't crew up our vehicle here, that would be rude. Well, despite playing that end game miserably, there wasn't really too much to discuss. Our draw was very good. And Thopters does what Thopters does, it goes wide, it draws cards, it makes your opponent's life miserable. Rank 40, I told you I could do it. Tap 15 vehicles, get some quests, gold. Still haven't got my money from Wizards. Any day now. I need it for a Monket. Come on, Wizards, don't make me have to open packs on video. Let's not go back to them dark days. Before I'd managed to amass my hoard of gold to be enough to cover for each set, I used to only be able to buy like 50% of the set, and I'd have to grind as I go, which made it frustrating to build decks when you don't have a full collection of cards. But we'll persevere here. We'll survive them dark days. This is a great hand. In the Reckless Fireweaver versus Turn 2 Smuggler's Copter debate, I think I've settled on Smuggler's Copter. I mean, it's nice being able to ping them for 1, but basically Copter gets in for 3, while Reckless Fireweaver gets in for 1, so that won that particular debate for me here. However, the Chief of the Foundry, PNLR debate is also an interesting one. Chief makes the Copter get in for 4, while PNLR is a lot safer. He's tapped out. This could become a race, in which case Chief is probably better. Well, no, I guess PNLR, because then I can crew with the Thopter, and then he has to make his attacks difficult if he doesn't have anything. So, yeah. Because we can crew with the 1/1, and then we have a 2/2 sitting back, and we have a 2/2 sitting back, and so basically if he doesn't have a pump spell, he can't really attack in case I just trade. I mean, I wouldn't block. Definitely wouldn't block if he did offer it, but it's something to keep in mind. I will ditch a land here. This deck only needs 5 lands to function. We've already got 4 in our hand. I'm pretty confident we'll draw. I'm pretty confident we'll draw another land. So yeah, we can loot that way. And we have 4 mana, so if we draw a 2-drop, we can go Reckless plus 2-drop. If we don't, probably is going to leave a Thopter Engineer. I do like Thopter Engineer over Chief of the Foundry. As double Longtus Cub. If one, he could have. I mean, he could have any pump spell in the game here. So if he does attack, I will not be blocking, and he does attack. So as a man true to my word, I will not be blocking. He will now have 3. He now can make them things 3/3s at any time, which we do have to be concerned about. But I think I like just getting the Chief down. I know I said Thopter Engineer before, but Chief lets me get in for basically 2 extra points of damage, and that's always nice. Like, we put him down to 11 here, and then Thopter Engineers might even just kill him next turn if he gets too aggressive. Will of Virtuoso is fantastic. We will... How many lands are we on? 4 lands. We kind of want a 5th land. This is actually tough, because if we get 5th land, we can go 3-drop, 2-drop. It's risky. I mean, the land's probably the right play, but I think I'm actually going to get rid of Will of Virtuoso. Unless I haven't played a land this turn, in which case I feel like a fool, but I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. I don't know, because, I mean, it's safer, but this means my next turn is so much efficient if I don't draw a land. I think that's right. It's, could be wrong, because like if I draw a 4-drop here, then I'll just be playing the 4-drop instead, but as an electric static pummeler, now we have a problem. If he's going to have a lot of energy here. We can't really block. No, we're not blocking. We're not blocking. We're not. This isn't a blocking YouTube channel. We are not blocking here. We can. When we have 9 energy, he can make this thing a 2/2. He can make it a 4/4 if he uses all his energy on defense, which I'm not concerned about if he uses all on defense. As well, rogue. Well, bugger. Do we just? I mean, do we just accept that we're dead if he has, you know, the right spells? Well, how much are we hitting him here for? Can we make him chump? Is the question. So we're hitting him for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we can make him chump. We'll like use some energy. So I think it's right. We'll do it like this. I'm probably not even going to loot my hand because I've already got my best card in my deck. In my hand. He has to use 2 bouts of energy to not just die, to not just get. He has to use 2. Okay, he's gone. He has to You had to use 2. I can't speak English. It's very difficult, but he has to use this thing's ability twice to not just trade. So yeah, basically that's what we're getting at. So he has to use all his energy, and yeah, apparently the AI's. Oh, he's just dead anyway. Apparently, I can't do maths. Yeah, apparently I just can't do maths. I'm really not on form today, I apologize. I'm winning despite being very unlucky. Could he be blocked better? I don't know. How did I do the maths there? I don't know. I apologize. I apologize. Apparently playing bad gets rewarded though, so I'm just the king of that today. We'll play one more here with our Thibbity Thop deck. Yeah, I mean, you've seen what Thopters does. I mean, it just makes it really awkward for your opponent. Just and when you get your vehicles, you can generally apply pressure pretty quickly, and it can go grindy with the. It's just the generic mid-range deck. I'd say Thopters is. And we're now holding our title at rank 40 versus Lucas Gehrig, and we're on the play, and we'll see if we can beat our friend here. And with a hand like this, I think it's worth keeping. If we hit land, we're great. If we run 25 land in our deck, we should hit land. We have a removal spell and 3 2-drops we can cast. I think this is a keep. Fairly straightforward. And yeah. Right on schedule. Right on schedule. The king, Flame Shadow Conjuring, does everything. Does everything except win the game. And it's gonna curse us now. That would not be in our deck, which means if we were running a 60 card deck, but Harness Lightning. That's not cool. Don't tell me this is a mirror match. It does not matter. It does not matter. We're ripping the land anyway. I've decided it. Oh, that's good. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. All is well. All is well. All is well. What's our opponent? He's played a red-blue. Let's see if he leads with a Thopter Maker here. And or we could be playing like blue control here, like tutelage or something. That's not decided. Well, we can't hit lands. There's another 4-drop enchantment. He's going to counter this 100%. Wow, he doesn't. And he's definitely got the removal spell, but because we're missing land drops, I feel we have to go for it. Has to be a second Harness Lightning. Yeah, well, he's going to kill something with it eventually. Maybe I don't go for it there because he let my 1/3 resolve. I don't know. I really wanted to hit my land drop this turn. We do need to hit our lands. They tend to be quite important in a game of Magic. But I don't regret keeping this hand, I'll tell you that for free. We have plenty of stuff going on here. There's a Jace, that thing is going to die to my Harness Lightning if we don't rip a land. And probably if we do hit land as well. You can't let your opponent have a Jace going unchecked. Well, we ripped a land, but unfortunately I think it is right to just kill Jace here. Don't tell me he's got a counter spell. No one runs the 2-mana counter spells. That never even crossed my mind. No one does. And now we have an energy lurking there for our Aether hubs. The key card in this matchup is probably Spy Network. If we can get that thing to resolve with an artifact on the field, our opponent is going to have a tough time grinding that out. And we also have an artifact that is difficult for a blue-red deck to kill if it resolves. So we have our game plan, we need to execute it. It looks like it was a surprise Thopter deck. Unfortunate, but what can you do? That's just good for our opponent. But I mean, we do have the Aether Sphere Harvester, which will make things awkward for them. And there's our second Harness Lightning. Or is it our third Harness Lightning? Second. So now we are staring at each other, but the problem is he is now on his 6th land drop while we are sitting daintily on our 3rd land drop. We have seen 1 land, a Flame Shadow Conjuring, a Thopter Spy Network, and a Harness Lightning. And a Smuggler's Copter. There's a Disciple of the Wing. This game is over. No, we've got the energy, we're fine. We're fine. Opponent taps out with Disciple and is deservedly punished for it. That thing needs to die. He doesn't even have any instants though, does he? No, he has 2. That thing has to die. Yeah. That's priority number 1. And we are back to staring at each other. But yeah, never tap out with Disciple. Always wait until you have at least 1 mana up. Especially against a mana screwed opponent, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. Our opponent deserved to be punished there. And we have Brawl's Expertise. If we eventually get to 5 mana, we might actually be good this game, but, you know, Stainless is a cruel, cruel mistress. There's another 4-drop enchantment. Counterspell. I mean, we can't play around it, and to be honest, I'm kind of putting him off counter spells now. I know he keeps pausing me out, but I feel he'd be countering these spells if he had them. And I'm very fine with not attacking and getting aggressive here. The longer this game goes, it means the more chance I've got to draw life. It means the more chance I've got to draw land. That's what I was getting at. And if with this hand, if I draw lands, we get double Spy Network down with Brawl's Expertise. Then we can start trying to take over the game here. But still no 4th land. We are now 14 cards deep, and that gives us some energy though. And I mean, if it resolves, of course, which it does. Now we sit back. So I mean, how many lands are on our deck? Yeah, let's figure it out. 15 cards deep. My bad. Forgot I run 61. What's he killing here? Thopter? Yeah, I guess so. That thing will flip eventually, but will wipe his entire field as well. And we do have the Brawl's Expertise to reset it if we need to. Opponent's deck seems to be somewhere between Control and Thopters. It's kind of interesting. That's an interesting attack. What could he have? Let's think. Firecraft? Or he has the... can play 2 instants to flip this. Firecraft or 2 instants. What is it worth playing around? We're taking 2, but if he's gonna flip it anyway, I mean, we keep our vehicle in the field. Let's see what. Let's read Thing in the Ice against all creatures. Let's flip. Non-horror creatures. So our Aether Hub would stay on the battlefield. So it's a question of, do we think he's gonna flip his Thing in the Ice? Or is he gonna kill our thing? I'll take 2. I'll take 2. If he flips, then that's fine. But I mean, we're already constricted on mana, so we don't. I mean, we're probably not gonna have the time to cast Aether Hub again if he did flip it. We did draw our 4th land. Hooray! Thank you very much. Let's play you out. I mean, he could have a counter spell. Okay, he does. So he is somewhere between a control deck. I don't know. Is he control or is he Thopters? I'm putting him more on control, but then I don't know. I didn't know. We attack him with the Aether Hub. We're not blocking with it, and he'd need. Well, I mean, he's got 1 counter on it, so any burn spell would just bounce it to our hand. But I mean, it's just sitting here gathering dust. If we, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough because I mean, bouncing it is really bad for us. He's down to, I mean, he just needs one spell. It's, yeah, I mean, because like with the Thopter Spy Network, that's one way, that's like the one way we're going to get back into this game, is if we Thopter Spy Network with a vehicle he can't interact with and then just start making 1/1s over and over again. And we just don't have the mana to do both here. He's trying to bait us to use our energy before he flips that thing in the ice. We have a Brawl's expertise, which wouldn't be the worst thing to try and play next turn. He'd have to have another counterspell, and I don't put him on many counterspells, just by the way he's been playing. He's been tapping out loads and stuff when he's been ahead on board. So I don't put him on a counterspell. So I think it's worth going for a Brawl's expertise, because, like, he tapped off Disciple with 0 mana. That implies to me he didn't have many counterspells. He's been throwing Geist Blasts at my creatures. I don't know. I'm going for it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but if I'm right, think of the glory. Think of the glory. He doesn't have it. I've decided he doesn't have the counterspell. I'm calling you bluff here. He could have any instant, I guess, but then he bounces entire field anywhere and it just gets flipped anywhere. So yeah, that would kind of be irrelevant for our opponent if he did that. He'd bounce our own field, I guess, but... I'm going to throw Thopters at our face. That makes sense. Oh, throwing them at a creature is interesting. If he taps out, then I'll just make my Thopters. Yeah, I'll make my Thopters now. Don't really want the lifelink. I think I'd take the extra Thopter here. It's an extra point of damage. And this spell crucially still resolves now because we've still got target here. And we'll put our Thopter Spy Network on the field over Flame Shadow Conjuring. I know, tragic, but it's just the way the dice rolls. And now we will start attacking here because we will draw a card and we'll also hit our opponent for 3. So his hand is a Thing in the Ice and 2 unknowns. We have the mighty Flame Shadow sitting in here since turn 2, ready to save the day. And yeah, so we played our brawls. We bluffed into him not having the counter spell, and it worked out. But I mean, this game isn't over. This game is not over. He's gonna have a tough time flipping his Thing in the Ice, but it is not impossible. And we now start generating an extra Thopter a turn. We're drawing an extra card a turn. It's going to be tough for our opponent to get back into this. But not impossible, crucially. Not impossible. Weird game. I just didn't hit lands, and then our opponent just tapped. Like, if he'd played a Disciple correctly, this game was unwinnable. Disciple is the most misplayed card in Duels. If it's played properly, this thing is just absolutely impossible to get around, especially against a mana-screwed opponent. Fall the Titans. Oh, now we actually do stand a chance of losing. Well, I guess there is worse targets in the world here. There has been worse Fall of the Titans cast. I think we can recover from this one. We can now slam down our Chief of the Foundry, getting for 6, and then put our opponent on a 2-turn clock. Seems good. Flame Shadow, you are moral support. You're the only reason we're in this game. Never mind. That is just better, right? Yeah, it's just better. That has to be better. And then the turn after we kill him with Chief of the Foundry instead of showing him this turn. Could have played the Flame Shadow and set it up in 2 turns to wreck our opponent, but something tells me that is not the right. He needs 3 instants with 3 cards in hand. That would be a pretty spectacular chain. Not impossible. Stuff like Glimmer of Genius and Telling Time could probably loop into spells. But we draw a land, which I like. And we can even start throwing Thopters in with P and Kieran Nalaar. So our opponent needs a good turn, a very, very good turn this turn. Otherwise they are dead. Well, Glimmer is the start. That was draw 1. He needs 2 instants now though. With 3 mana is going to be difficult. Not impossible. He needs what, like a... If he could even just cast a Fall of Titans for 1 and then like 2 then a 2-drop or something to wipe the field. That would be step 1. Fevered Visions is not what he wanted. He's just dead now. So we got there. We persevered. Flame Shadow, very important card, and we're going to play this one out. I'll respectfully take the 2 damage here. I'm trying to think if there's a draw in our deck that would allow us to play Flame Shadow and Flame Shadow a creature just as the mascot of the deck. It is a good card. I know I've been making fun of it, but it is a good card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we can play that. We can't actually Flame Shadow though, but it's on the battlefield. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. It made an appearance. There we go. It's actually a good card, but obviously we're mana screwed this game, which is never really where that deck wants. Where Flame Shadow wants to be is never mana screwed. But there you have it. I'll attack out, and yeah, so we went 3-0 with Thopters. Last game was an interesting one. The other 2 were more dominant, but the deck can grind out. The deck can grind out, and our friend Lucas has now stood a chance. And there's some more gold, 5,320. The grind continues. Casted some blue spells, and yeah, so that is Izzet Thopters. It's a good deck. I really do enjoy Thopters. It's one of the more consistent decks in Duels where it's always planning to do the same thing every game, which is just make the board go wide with all your token makers and then just go nuts. But it's good at its job. It's very good at its job, and I do recommend it if you want to hit rank 40 and join me in the promised lands. Look at this. Every season rank 40, including Origins. I was rank 40. I have video proof, I promise. But yeah, so on that bombshell, I'll say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.